welcome along. This is Virtual Farmer and we've moved forward into December. We've got some very dark mornings at the moment, and we're going to be doing a bit of Woodchip today. We are heading towards best price for Woodchip next month, so I want to get some trees cut down and some Woodchip made. First though, the canola that we've got, the little bit of canola we've got stored in our storage over here, that has reached best price, so we're going to go and get that sold first this morning. And so I am using the John Deere for this. Now this tractor is not the fastest tractor, but I want to get, or I've already got the wood chipper onto the New Holland, so we're going to hang around with this. We're expecting, yeah, as you can see, the sun is coming up at the moment. We'll go and get this tipped. Now this is going to Feed and Grain South, I think. Yep, so we will tag that. And that is which direction? That is that way. In fact, I believe that is where we picked up the lime last time. So we'll head down there and we'll go and get this sold. That should get us out of the negative numbers we're in. We're at minus 3,618. So that'll get us out the other side of negative numbers. And there are a few cultivating contracts that would be quite good to do. So what I might do is see how much wood chip we can make. We're going to try and make at least a couple of trailerfuls. The wood chip is nearly £1,000 per 1,000 litres. So the more wood chip we can make today, the better off we'll be. And whoa, he's all right. He's stopped for us. So yeah, with any luck, we should be able to make a decent amount of money from a couple of trees. So here we are down at the sell point. Yeah, not too far from us. This is a nice, easy sell point to get to. We'll just get this tipped here. We're going to leave this trailer on this tractor so that we can fill this with wood chips. And there we go. That is perfect. We've got the bucket for our JCB. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and tip the wood chips into our silo area. Well, I think we've got a covered silage clamp at the farm, and I'm hoping I might be able to tip the wood chips in there to store them. If not, then we will look at trying to put them somewhere else. Before we continue on the farm, this video is brought to you in partnership with the awesome people at Apex Gaming PCs. I've teamed up with Apex Gaming PCs to create a custom line of PCs suitable for everyone from beginner farmers to virtual farming experts. And the highest spec machines are also perfect for streaming and content creation. So there's never been a better time to go check them out. So we covered this last time. I want to place this trailer about here-ish, I think. What I'm gonna do though is we're just gonna go up to here and turn this around. We don't own the field at the end here, although that field very much is on my target list for where we want to go next. And then I'm going to park this here and we'll go and get the other tractor. So wood chips are always a good boost over winter. If you're able to get hold of a wood chipper like we've done here, because yeah, we got it out here. I had to turn around looking at that. Yeah, if you can get hold of a wood chipper like this for a fairly inexpensive amount, you can just chop a few trees down, turn them into wood chips over the winter, and make a decent amount of cash that way. So I am going to unfold this. We will get the auger out as well. Should be in a good position for it to get the trailer. Yep. So it is positioning itself on that. We can start this up. There we go. I think I've turned all the lights off. We don't need those on. The sun's come up quite nicely at this point. We'll do the same with this tractor. Yeah, this is going to be fantastic. So, we need to pick a couple of trees to cut down. Anything that's fairly close. Basically, I need to pick a couple of trees I can cut into smaller pieces. Let's start with this one. So cut it nice and low. And I think this will have to be cut into much smaller trunks. And we'll see how far this tree on its own takes us. Oh, sometimes getting them to drop can be a real big pain. But if we take it out up there, the whole thing should come down. Yeah, and then we can cut it into smaller pieces here, like so. And all this then comes down and we can just trim it all off. Right, then I need to find out. That's interesting that I don't know quite what that is there. We're looking at 8,379 liters to chip this. This, I think, is a measurement of maybe how far to cut it in order to pick it up, or is this a measurement of how far? Is that, I mean, yeah, they're meter lots is what that is. Right, so I've cut this first log into meter chunks. Each of these is going to do nearly 2,000 liters. Can't pick that up. So we're going to cut this into smaller chunks so that we can. Down the middle like this. And if I cut it into quarters, that should mean that we end up with very pick-upable and feedable logs of wood. Right, that is the first one done. We can pick that up. We bring this over here. In it goes. And away it goes. Perfect. Right. I'm going to get this tree then all cut up and fed into our chipper. And we'll see how full our trailer is at the end of it. So this is the last piece from this first section of tree. Let's see how much we've got from this. We're expecting about 10,000 liters, I think. We have 7,554. So actually cutting it into smaller pieces has meant that we've lost a decent amount of wood from this. I think there's a better way for us to do this that would mean we wouldn't end up with quite such a big loss. And that would be to go and get a grab to do this with. So we've brought our wheel loader down to the shop. We might as well use this as we've got it. And let's see what they have on offer. This is wheel loader tools, front loader, wheel loader tools. Here we go. So we've got a few bits and pieces here that we could, we've got big bag lifters. We have, we've got the Site Pro. That's quite expensive. We're going to lease, whatever we do, we're going to lease it. I don't want to use that one. I'm using that one on our Forestry Friday series, and it's not that easy. I think I'm going to use the Site Pro. This is quite good at grabbing logs and holding on to them. It basically does a single log, so we are going to lease this because it's going to cost us very little to lease it. Okay. And then that should be waiting for us round the back. Yeah, £331 leasing cost. We're going to make more than that just picking up one log. and it's gonna be absolute minimal amount that it's going to cost us today a day to have it around the farm. Far less than any of our hire purchase or anything else. So yeah, that is going to be perfect for as little as we're going to be using this piece of kit. There was one thing I forgot to do when I was down at the shop, and that is I forgot to hook up the hydraulics on this. So there we go. And that should now open our jaws. There we are. Perfect. Right. And now that we're into here, I'm going to come around and see if we can pick up this log. Pick up one log and get it in. It's going to be a game changer. Should be able to pick up one log. But definitely won't be able to pick up more than one. There we go. Right. And then we just need to feed this into our wood chipper, which I think I left running. Yeah, much quicker to do this. Although that's quite a bit of weight on the front of this. It stopped working. Okay. Right. So I'm a little bit on the hook here, but we should be all right. Right, let's just jump out of this and then turn this on. Start up our bit of kit. There we are. And with that done, we should be able to now just bring this up here. Drop that on there. And yeah, in it goes. Oh. It was too much to hope that was going to work first time. That's right. The reason why we got this particular bit of kit is because if I need to reposition things with this, we can do it. And that then opens up. In it goes. Perfect. I think that might have got stuck. Yeah, we need to cut this bit off. These are wonderfully safe bits of kit to use, but that should go in when I cut like that. Yep, all folds in, and look at that. And we know that we had 7,500 litres in before, and that has added 10,000 litres. So no, that's taken us up to 11. Sorry, that's added 4,000 litres. So yeah, we're doing well. Now I've just got to clean this up so that we can get lots more cut. Get the rest of this in, and then move on to the next tree. I've chopped all the branches off this bit, and most of this is now going to have to be picked up separately. It won't go easily into the front jaws on our JCB, but it can be just wholesale large pickup and get rid of, so it's not that bad. We should be able to get the big trunk bit that we've got there. Be able to get that in the JCB's jaws. A couple of these we might have to cut a bit smaller. A couple of these I think are acting weird because they have some strange cuts on them. Yeah, you can see this one especially is just a bit strange. There we go. Right, will this one pick up now? No. Yeah, this one is being a little bit odd and a little bit heavy, but I've got it. I might have made enough space to come in and grab this from this side. I'll give that a try. Quite not the easiest of grabs, this. Oh, that's got it. Does seem to be a little bit, yeah, a little bit uneven on that. Wow, and that is quite long. I don't know if I'm going to get it through these trees here, Yeah, I'm not sure there's an easy way to get these past all this. I'm gonna have to maneuver a bit and see what I can do. Can't get it through. Gonna have to cut off the tip here, and hopefully that will sort us out. We got any? No, nothing else to clear off there. Right, that'll get through there now though. Nice big long section in. Perfect. Is that going to fill the trailer? That cannot be too far off at this point. I think that put a very large amount in. Is one tree going to fill this trailer? That would be absolutely fantastic, especially considering that we've got a few branches kicking around here still. Seems to have very rear loaded this trailer. Let's see. Whoa. Up and in. Doesn't want to go in easily. I think this one might have a little bit of a weirdness on it, which does happen, but that's gone in. We are still filling the trailer. We must be getting fairly close. Yeah, we're at 17,500 litres off one tree. So this is, each of these trees is worth nearly, actually, I think by the time we finish this, each tree here is worth about 20,000 in wood chips at this time of year. That is fantastic. That is really going to help our income. We're almost full. I don't think it's going to take many more branches. We're only putting in a couple of 100 litres with each of these branches at the moment. They are not massive, and I'm just trying to get it to the point where we top off this trailer and can go and tip what we've got, or at least attempt to tip what we've got. That has gone in. There we go. That is in. That is right at the back of this trailer. That cannot have much more to go in there. Yeah, in fact, we are at 100%. Perfect. Right. We are wasting fuel a bit by leaving that running, but I'm hoping this is not going to take us very long. So my plan is to tip this in one or two places, either into our store here, into our silo here, which it won't take. We then have this area over here, which there's a decent amount of storage in. Now, I think, I might have to move the combine for this, but I think that this, with any luck, should go in. I don't think this is a, well, I don't know. Is this? Yeah, this is a silo. So, or this is a silage clamp. So it's very possible that this may just refuse to go in here. But we can put the combine down the same side as the bales, because we're not using this as a silage clamp at all. If it does, if we do have this issue where it remains as a silage clamp and we're unable to actually tip the wood chips into here, what we might have to do is sell this building and get something that's more useful to us. But we'll see what happens first. Let's get this backed in first and tipped. See if it even will. Right, we're in position. Let's see if we can tip. No, can't be performed here. So we're going to have to tip these somewhere else for now. That is a little bit annoying, but not wholly unexpected. I think this corner over here, yes, it's not covered for now. We will work something out. Managed to get the last 3 bits of wood all here together. One thing I do like about these woodlands is you can see how bumpy the terrain is here. Yes, it's shaken the branches out of the clamp here, but I do like it in that this would be very uneven ground. That is what I would expect from this. And now I have, you know, I have areas that are not easy to traverse. Trying to get this so that we can pick these 3 up again. Not easy though. Main cab here. Yeah, got rid of the short one, which seemed to have got stuck in the actual grab. So now these 2 here, we should be able to just come down and grab them together with any luck. If I actually got on top, well, I've got one of them. As long as it stays in here, we'll be able to feed that in. The other one looks like it might have slipped all the way down the slope and under, so I think I'm gonna be a little bit pushed to get that in, but this one should be able to do. Yeah, that's sliding in without any issue. Wow, I can't believe we got more than a trailer off that first tree. That bodes very well for us today. I think we could end up, and probably will end up, with 40-odd thousand off here. So I'm looking at my trees and trying to decide which one to take next. I think this one, actually. Nice straight tree, fairly easy to get at. Should be able to cut without too much hassle. So get that cut there. Shouldn't have too much to clear off. Volume is 9,484 liters. Now Woodchip, this is gonna make 23,077. That is fantastic. So we'll cut it here. Can I set the length? I must be able to set length. Indicate mode length. Yes. Okay. So I can do weight that I can pick up or length. We're doing length at the moment. We're not. Yeah, desired length. If we go 5 meters. No, it's not letting me change that. Oh well. That's all right. We'll just cut this and see how we do. I'm very happy with the way this is going though. Just gonna run along the length and debranch it. Fairly easy. Turn the chainsaw sideways and do that. Well, this might be fun getting this to get picked up by our wheel loader. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's all clear. Right, let's see if it will pick up this big chunk at the bottom. That is quite a big chunk. I also don't know if this is gonna go in my wood chipper. The wood chipper is not the largest. If it won't, we will have to oh, it's round it. We've grabbed it. We'll have to cut it into smaller chunks, but if we can at the very least get it down to the wood chipper, we can see. This is more than a trailer's full of wood off this tree. So that is gonna do us very nicely, and God, that may be too big. Quite possibly. Yeah, that is looking a bit too chunky to fit in there. In fact, yeah, that is not handling that well. Okay, we can sort that. So if we set this mode length to actually grabbable, 200 kg, this will lose us a little bit from this, but in that goes. And yeah, look at that. That feels a little bit small for that. We can't pick that up, but we should be able to now move this around and maneuver it back in. Now that the very wide end is off. Whoop. Yeah, there we go. Up, down on that. It up. Move the other bit out of the way. Now this, with any luck, should feed in, and if this feeds in, the rest of it definitely will. The other bit, I'll just cut that into a smaller section, and we can then use that. It's trying, it's pushing, it's really tight, and it is going in. I'm not sure. Well, yeah, no, it's doing it. It's doing it. Fantastic. That is a lot that went in there. Right, the rest of this we'll cut into, hopefully, quarters and feed that in. The rest of the tree is going to fit in here without an issue. So that is perfect. We are going to be able to get the rest of this tree in, and we're going to have a whole load of cash to make next month when it is time to sell off all these wood chips. It will just, yeah, it will sell very, very nicely, this tree. It's getting dark, and oh, I think this one could very easily fill that. Wow. I only went and got one more log, and we're full. Yeah, we are absolutely full with this trailer. So we'll go tip this, and I think what I'll do is we've got a few more bits of tree to clear up. So I am going to go on into the evening. I'll get the rest of this wood chipped. Then next time we can load it all up and go and sell it along with our barley, and we should be back on track with that. We'll be looking a lot better. We are still keeping an eye out for another tractor. We want something to replace this John Deere, because you guys said to, yeah, definitely need a second tractor on the farm, but not necessarily the John Deere. So we got our eyes out. There was a fence that came up not too long ago, but turned out that was a little bit on the expensive side for us. So we're just gonna stick with this, and if something better comes up, we'll grab it. Certainly would like something around the 130 horsepower mark, I think. For now, I'll leave this here, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and drop us a comment. A huge thank you to all my patrons and channel members whose names are on screen now. Your support makes these videos possible. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the recommended video below, or subscribe and help us on the road to 50,000 subscribers. And I will see you next time.